Hi, I just wanted to um, talk about the word disability and what it means to me. So here it goes. Um, According to the Free Dictionary by Fairfax, the word disability means the condition of being disabled, incapable, incapacity. The period of such condition never received a penny of a disability. Uh, they also say a disadvantage or dysfunctionary, especially a physical or mental impairment that interferes with or prevents normal achievements in a particular area, something that hinders or incapacitates. It also has a legal incapacity or disqualification. Okay, so um, the thesis, disability means the condition of being unable to perform as a consequence of physical or mental unfitness. Reading disability, i.e., hearing impairment. Um, so that apparently is the free dictionary by Fairfax view on disability, on the word disability. Um, my personal view is that I think everybody has a disability, meaning that um, the the meaning to me of disability is the unable to do a natural ability. So, what do I mean by that? Okay, if you are ambidextrian, I think's the words when you can write with two hands, but let's say you aren't, you can't write with two hands, you're disabled that you can't write with two hands. That, or if you can, if you can play soccer really well, or um, but your friend or whoever can't play soccer, uh, they're disabled in that area. Now, most disabilities that like that you can overcome. Be you can gain that ability. Um, Mental health disabilities like schizophrenia or any like depression or things like that need to be treated with a doctor close following you, and can be treated with medicine. It can also be treated with all natural type of medicine. Although I don't know much about schizophrenia, so I won't touch up on that. I just have a few friends who have just schizophrenia, and I know that they take a lot of medicine to keep their brain, I guess not being abnormal, whatever that word means. But um, so in talking about my personal disabilities, um, as you guys know, I have cerebral palsy, which is a born disability, or caused very shortly after the birth. In my case, again, the cord was wrapped around my head when I came out of the uterus. Um, my cord was wrapped around my my neck. Um, so that's how I became disabled. Um, and it only affects my right side. So I also suffer from depression, seasonal depression. So I live in Minnesota. So during the summer, I'm okay because there's a lot of sunshine and I can go outside and enjoy the weather. Well, not today maybe because it's raining, but normally I can enjoy the weather. And um, but during the winter, um, I can become very depressed, very sad, um, very blue. What I do for my depression works for me, may not work for everybody else. Again, at I if you do suffer from depression, I do recommend that you talk to a psychologist, and that person may be able to help you. I am not being seen by a psychologist at this point in time because I have found that herbal tea, such as green tea, um, has worked for me. It relieves my pain or whatever in my head. I don't know how, but it just is a calming effect for me. Um, Now, I also suffer from um, uh, some things from my adoption. When a lot of people, when they're adopted, they have uh, they have issues with abandonment. Um, Not everyone. I just happen to have that. Some people do, some people don't. And so I have, when people leave, I have an anxiety when people leave the house or leave me, um, because then I feel alone, and I don't want to feel alone because it reminds me of being left with from my birth mom, and whoever my dad is, I have no idea. He didn't sign the birth certificate, so I assume he was out of the picture by that point. Um, so there's lots of disabilities, but with proper medical care, you can learn to adapt your life to accommodate your disability. Now, if the human race accommodates your disability, that's a different story. Um, People around you, the people that love you and that care for you, your friends, your family, your children, they will all accommodate you to help you live a more full, happy life. But the people outside of your, what I like to call, network of support, may not always be as supportive. So what I do when I go out in the community is that if somebody is staring at me or pointing at me, which hasn't happened for a long time, but you'd be surprised, kids point and stare, and parents sort of, instead of encouraging the kid to come up to me and say, why don't you ask that lady what's what's hindering her, what's bothering her, they sort of hush their kid up and sort of walk away fast. And I think the only way to teach kids about disability and how to accept people that are different from you is to, as a parent, um, is to allow them to go up to that particular person and ask questions. As that disabled person, you have to be willing and open to allowing people to learn about your disability and not think that they are going to prejudge you or judge you upon your answers. I mean, we all know that if you get to know somebody really well,